You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. I got an email from a cop, and we are pro-cop here, except for Minneapolis cops who give me a bunch of bullshit parking tickets. And oh, geez, look at the riots. It's too bad. You should protect those people that really like you a lot. Yeah. So I gotta keep him anonymous because we don't want him to lose the job. But he emailed me and he said he's a youngish man and he's very good looking. He's tall, dark, and handsome, and all this other stuff. Let me make sure I got it right. I don't want to say something that he didn't. Having a Clary, he wanted a Clary original. And I said the original. Oh, yeah, he sent some pictures. Oh, yeah. You girls, you guys can't find a guy. Looking at this guy. Yeah, okay. All right. He reminds me of this super cop I know in a different district. I can't say anything about him. But this guy's like a 10. I did a video, what's it like to be a 10 as a guy? And he was one of the guys I contacted because he's incredibly handsome and tall and dark and handsome, although everything. Here's this guy. So you just wanted one? Yeah. Okay. So I think we just went with one, buddy. If it was more than one, just let me know because I got several emails. So this guy's like perfect age, tall, in shape, makes a handsome salary, no debt, has a pension, bobbity 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 boo. He's rather high in the IQ test department. Lots of hobbies. Again, don't want to nail you down, buddy, but you got some really cool hobbies. You work out 5 to 6 days a week. Da 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 da. And then I said an original could be your observations. I would just love to know what it's like being a top 10% guy as a cop, even because like Chad Elkins, we like to pick on Chad Elkins. They like doctors and all. There's certain people, certain professions that see people from, I don't necessarily want to say the underside, though certainly that, but different angles and different lights. We, the public going public, don't see. Like this is, we see everyone what they want you to see on the Facebook or the social media and out in play. Everyone's got the best foot forward. These people don't. And so I said, yeah, give me some observations. So he wrote, hello, Aaron, you got it. This is a little long. You require some extra payment. Just let me know. Here are some of my observations. I did not start dating until I was 21, and I was not taught anything regarding the nature of women, the sexual marketplace, or what might be considered red pill, and I had to learn it the hard way in my younger 20s. This did put me at a disadvantage, but regardless, when I look back at my personal professional experiences, there are themes that you and others like Ryan Stone, Rich Cooper, and Rollo Tomaso. What's with all the Canadians? Why is only one American? Me and Rollo, those are the only Americans that you're going to throw some, sing the Canadians' praises here? Talk about so subtopic, bold, the party years and the epiphany phase. I never understood this concept, was always one of those frustrated guys that will watch the girls go out party and not date a good guy like me. Cringy, I know, but I didn't know any better at the time. None of us did, man. None. I look at some of the dumb stuff I did that I thought I was being clever, and it was in hindsight at least dumb, oftentimes cringe. But that being said, doing those things with trial and error, because I'm old, I'm very old, older than you even. We had to do a trial and error. We learned it the hard way. So we could forgive you for that. But it wasn't totally wasted. You built up resilience. You got shot down. you got to find out, oh, you don't mean what you say. I know, but I didn't know any better at the time. Now I do, and it really hit me in the face with my last several ex-girlfriends who were, you guessed it, in the epiphany phase, who had already had their fun years, careers, and were wanting to find a good man and start a family. I would also add, has a pension. One ex was in her 30s, had her career, and told me she wanted to have 4 kids in the next few years and expected me to marry her within 6 months of dating. Dude, I'll tell you this, cops, when women want security, they'll go for cops. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I was literally that 5th or 7th checkbox on her life that she was trying to complete. The polling data. Guys, you don't have to just go look up polling data. And it's been a while since I did the research for my book, help Myron with his book. There's always new data coming out, always Pew Research especially. I don't make it up. I just give you the numbers so that you guys say, "Oh my God, it's not me in bad luck. This is the market." As she was trying to complete, I did not stick around for that, only to potentially be divorced later. And you know what? She doesn't deserve it. No, you don't get rewarded. No, you don't get to date a super cop. Another ex had just turned 30, and after dating for an extended period, I was able to deduce through her telling stories that she had had her party years, a drinking problem with a few drugs tossed in for good measure, but was now 30 and wanted to have a family and have my kids. She had a lot of good qualities that would make a good significant other and maybe even a good mom, but it did not work out. And she was yet another example of the girls who loved their party years. Let's talk about decisions. Let's talk about opportunity costs. We're going to go over this again until we all have it beaten into our skulls. And you know what? You just made something very apparent to me. In the priority list, which on the end of the pollsters, you have to craft the polling a certain way to get not the results you want, but to get accurate results. What every pollster should be putting in there, and Pew Research, please put in party and have fun. If I recall the polling correctly, they had the general categories of financial stability, obvious and admirable, career, education, travel. You have to put in the party years. Because if we look at action, which is the only form of desire or choice that matters, what did you decide to do in the real world? Women love their partying years more than husband, kids, family, whatever else. That's fine. I have no problem with it. Don't just be shocked that if party years, namely, having many sex partners, all of a sudden eliminates, or you get too old, or you're bad with your finances, ruins your chances of having priority list item number 6, 7, and 8. Don't whine and howl at the moon because your previous decisions, which you chose to do, you should celebrate it. It was obviously more important for you to do that than it was to A, B, C, and D. I think, ladies, you'd have a lot less frustration if you just like, no, I made my choice, and that's how. I mean, you could try, but don't be upset when it doesn't happen. Love the parties. It will stick the landing with the family into their 30s. Subtitle: T-rash. You run into a lot of T-rash, I bet. I could go on about my observations. Oh, hang on. There we go. I could go on about my observations of the addictive nature of T-rash and his bad boy and don't give a fuck mannerisms that I've seen personally and professionally. Anything from women throwing themselves at men who behave in a degenerate manner and have the criminal history to back it up, to women who have shown me their series of boyfriends, hookups, crushes, and dating preferences over the years, and all of them fit your funny yet accurate T-rash category. Catch them all, T-rash. Catch them all. Women love and will defend to a shocking level a T-rash that has them in their feelings, regardless if he is abusing them, and they call us to have him removed for the third time that week. They do not want to charge him and just want the abuse to stop, all while letting him come back later that day or week to replay the same event over and over. They're going to change him, my good sir. They're going to change. They're going to tame T-rash. I never understood the power of T-rash, but as I continued to date and interact with people at work, I always see women throwing themselves at T-rash. I always get a good laugh at something as simple as a traffic stop where the T-rash does not have a license and or has a warrant and is the passenger seat of the vehicle. If you guys want, go to my Instagram page, Clary, Aaron Clary, one of them. It's called The Poor Man's Hug. It's a picture of all these dudes like their wife or girlfriend's paying for something and they're like hugging them from behind and leaning their head over. It's freaking hilarious. T-rash does not have a license and or has a warrant and is a passenger seat of the vehicle being picked up from work and is the baby daddy to the women driving the vehicle, and the kid is in the seat behind them. I never understood it before, but now it is clear as day, and I privately chuckle at the appeal of the T-rash. he can kill. Okay, he can very likely statistically kill most other men. That's it. He's security. Never mind that's outdated. Just like overeating food is completely outdated. You just, man, they love a criminal record and they love drug dealers because that's a lot of fun and that's a lot of danger and that's a lot of protection. If they could just get T-rash to stop beating them or effing other women. Maybe I'll come up with trashtimeshare.com. Who wants to go? Anyone want that idea? Go run with it. Ladies, do you have a good, hardworking cop or an honest CPA begging to take care of you? Well, we know your tingles aren't being satisfied. Go to trashonline.com. Select your T-rash and timeshare a T-rash. T-rash is in the neighborhood near you. You just got to pick them up. Another subtopic, only the best and what I currently see in the dating world. Your coined perfect mental state is bang on. From what I could see, mainly women truly believe that regardless of their action, there is an underlying aversion to responsibility or accountability for their actions in life and dating. I truly believe you are right that society has taught them that they can have it all and not have to deal with consequences. This leads them to believe that they only deserve the best. I have had dates where they have literally said to me that they only deserve the best and will not settle while expecting me to pay for the date and placate them, or they will just go out with the next guy on their phone. I've been ghosted before more times than I can count. See, that's par for the course. That's going to happen. But I am shocked. Like, it even happens to 9s and 10s. Placate them. Been ghosted more times than I could count and stood up on dates several times in the past few months alone. Not to mention the last time I put serious effort in where I did 30 in-person approaches. Good going, sir. And 30 direct messages on Instagram and was on a few dating apps where there were over 70 matches. All this ended in 0 dates or only a date or 2 with a woman, and several of these women I interacted with. If you want, it's both in my book, The Book of Numbers, and then also Myron's book, Why Women Deserve Less. Or you could just Google search it if you'd like. Just search Tinder analytics, and they look like rain clouds, and how it just what microscopically few girls will say yes to a date. 16,000 swipes. I think it was like in the single digits, the number of times people went out on that date. For the guys, the girls is the complete opposite. Go look at it. Go look at it. I don't make it up. It wasn't like, hey, you know what's going to be edgy? Me claiming girls just don't like guys that much. I'm looking at the data. I'm like, no, girls just don't like guys that much. And here's a guy who's way better looking than me, way more in shape than me. I'd say you have a sexier job than me, like in the terms of, podcasters, not exactly sexy. And you're getting stood up. Or only a date or 2 with a woman, and several of these women I interacted with. I would later see another guy who was more attractive than me in some way or another. Your book, The Book of Numbers, is bang on with saying that women are only interested in the top 5% of men and only about 5% of the women are worth dating. Regardless of all this, I refuse to play the victim, and I'm just happy that I'm coming to this understanding of the world we are in. And that is outstanding, sir. The reason why you can't do anything about it. Now, you've done everything you could about it. You're in shape, all that other stuff, and now you acknowledge not all the variables you control. And instead of even getting angry, you've said, this is what it is. And then based on your hobbies and the pictures you sent me, you are making the most of your life. That is absolutely outstanding. Regardless of all of this, I refuse to play the victim. I'm just happy that I'm coming to this understanding of the world we are in. Also, you have the sanity now of understanding that. So you're going to enjoy a much better life. Just not being confused anymore. I mean, imagine, I know a guy who's on his 5th freaking marriage. I'm like, what don't you get? My goal is to improve myself to the point where I can retire early and just enjoy my life, and will date when it is convenient and enjoyable too. I would encourage all of your listeners who are younger and in their 20s to work hard. Do not waste your time chasing duck girlsa, and figure out what you want in life. If you're crushing it, the girlsa will find you, and yeah, I'm not really a black pillar. I'm just an empiricist. But guys, I'm not saying don't try. I'm not saying don't achieve your best. I'm not. Go do your best. That's what life is about. But the number one thing you have to do is reel in your expectations. This guy is a 10. And he's still like, I guess there's an 11 out there. Thanks again for all you do. Now go yell at some more clouds while on a hike. Anonymous. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. And that is, thank you for the behind the scenes. It's not that we don't have 1,000 snipers on this project coming at it from all different angles, but having this viewpoint from a cop, I would argue we've already over 20 years through trial and error. It's the largest meta study, the largest sociological experiment in the world is now that men have the internet, we could compare notes. We have such, I would say, not only a working model, but an accurate model of women's interests, behaviors, desires, and everything. We got it down to a science almost, but this just provides another bit of evidence, but also an interesting viewpoint. It was like, oh yeah, they do love T-rash. You had to arrest him several times. And I do appreciate the 10s or the 9s and the 10s, the really good looking guys like this is crazy. I'm like, okay, I had pretty good luck as an 8, but there was a lot of work I had to do, but you're saying it's even worse now. You know? All right, let's go to the super chats. We got 2. Shameless Dab 2.0, $5. How come you haven't connected TFM with Fresh and Fit? I've recommended it. We're not each other's social secretaries. I could recommend. The problem is he'd have to do it remote because TFM doesn't want to be identified in person. So he ain't going to fly out to Florida. Is it because TFM is too base for their podcast? No, they agree on a lot of things. I don't want TFM to get them banned though. Yeah, they got to worry about that. No fault to TFM. Nothing but love for him. But yeah, he'll be like, okay, I guess this goes on Rumble. John in audit, $5. Just got back from Vegas. Profited 260 counting cards. Hobby of mine. Indebted to you for changing my mind from econ to accounting. Hope you're well. Outstanding, John. Glad you're doing well. Vlad Elkham's world famous accountant is in the house. So there we go. All right, that's it. Link below. Going back to what our cop agent in the field said. Focus on yourself and all that other stuff. I think I linked Bachelor Pad Economics down there because why not get your finances together? Oh, the Book of Numbers. Book of Numbers, what I'd like link down below to show you he ain't lying. And also, guys, if there's the gym and there's diet and exercise and education, please get your finances together. Link below is an introductory course to Teachable called Achieving Financial Excellence. It's a short course, but that is your very first step in getting your financial planning together. So instead of going up, we're coming up on the weekend. Let me propose something to you. You can go to the nightclub and spend $50 on, with Uber, $100 with Uber, drinks, cocktails, covered charges, chasing, whatever. You can do that. Or you could take this course. I think it's $99 and start financial planning and then retire early. What do you prefer? You're going to get nothing but frustration and wasted time and money, or you can retire early. This is what I recommend. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.